Good afternoon, travel agents, and welcome to our final day of TTG USA Fest 2025 in partnership with Visit USA. Today, we're running our final three training sessions. These will be led by Fort Myers, Greater Palm Springs, and Orlando. These speedy and insightful 20-minute sessions are designed to give you the latest information and product updates on these incredible destinations. I know most of you will know the drill by now. I recognize a lot of these names in here, but just as a quick reminder to use our chat box and say hello and ask questions you may have, and our hosts will do their best to respond to your queries during their presentations. Please do also check out the polls tab where you can answer questions and win prizes. You'll need to listen out carefully for the correct answers throughout the training sessions. And that's it from me today. So thanks for joining us, and I'll hand you straight over to Lucy representing Fort Myers.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thanks for that lovely intro, Jess. My name is Lucy and I'm here this afternoon to give you all a bit of training about Fort Myers and our wonderful destination on the southwest coast of Florida. So our tagline, welcome to Fort Myers where it just feels right. So I'm sure many of you have probably visited Fort Myers and that really is a tagline that is just very exemplary of how it feels to be in Fort Myers. You just kind of slot right in. Everyone's very welcoming and you definitely get that real Floridian experience. So I'm going to play a very short video and we will begin the presentation after that.
My Fort Myers makes me feel really kind of like at one with nature. It brings a sense of peace and tranquility. That is my Fort Myers.
My Fort Myers is a source of inspiration for many reasons. You can find wonderful food, just visit wonderful locations with so much to do and see, and we keep growing every day.
If you're looking for a sense of community, Fort Myers is the place to be. My Fort Myers is getting a beer, having some pizza, eating some chocolate, and getting lost in nature.
My Fort Myers is Sanibel, Captiva, North Captiva, Cayo Costa, these very beautiful, pristine barrier islands that you can go to. I get to see amazing things every day.
Great. So I hope you all enjoyed that very short introduction into Fort Myers, and I will be delving into a little bit more information about, all of the things to see and do in Fort Myers. But let's kick things off. Where are we? As I've already mentioned, we are southwest coast of Florida. We're on the Gulf Coast. We are a kind of a collection of islands, neighborhoods, and very much coastal. So you can see there our distance from the key Florida gateways, some of them. So we've got Orlando, we're about 3 hours drive across and down from Orlando. Miami, about 2.5 hours drive across, and then Tampa, 2 hours straight down from Tampa. So very well connected and very easy to reach us. You'll see there a little photo of something that we are very excited to have in our destination, which is the Key West Express. So that is our direct passenger ferry service, which links us directly with the Florida Keys as well. So plenty of options for connectivity, and that's where you'll find us. So I'll move on to kind of what there is to see and do. As I've said, we are a collection of islands, beaches, and neighborhoods. So we've got over 100 barrier islands. You can see some of the bigger ones there. We've got Pine Island, as well as Sanibel and Captiva Island. But then you can also see some of those smaller little ones dotted around as well. And, really one of the best ways to get out and explore Fort Myers is on the water. So, be it out on the boat or on a kayak, a canoe, you name it. There's so many ways to enjoy Fort Myers via the water. Beaches as well. We've got, incredible long, sandy, white beaches, beautiful blue water, as you kind of expect from a Florida coast. but also something I'll come on to a bit later on in the presentation, but we are also kind of informally known, but we like to say we are the seashell capital of the world as well. But beyond that, we're also a collection of neighbourhoods. So the downtown Fort Myers area, definitely not to be missed, nor is the Cape Coral area as well. So I can come on and show you all what we have to do in those areas as well. So kicking it off with the islands and beaches, as I've mentioned, we've got more than 100 barrier islands. We are known as the seashell capital of the world. So how we get that name is that we've actually got over 400 different varieties of seashell in the location, in the destination. So that just makes for really great activities in terms of shelling. You can go wander down onto the beach, pick up the shells, have a look at them, take photos. You are more than welcome to take them home as well. Some people don't like to do that, and that's absolutely fine. But what you'll also find is a lot of the hotels will have sort of kids clubs and activities, which really, get the kids out onto the beach and kind of exploring some of that. Some of the marine life, but also some of the shells and all of the beautiful wildlife that calls Fort Myers home. We've also got, the statistic is there, 50 miles of white sand beaches and some nice images there as well. So you can really see those long stretching beaches of white sand. We're probably a little less known. We like to see ourselves as a bit of a hidden gem. So the chances of having a bit more of the beach to yourself, as opposed to kind of if you're in some of our kind of neighbours, slightly more well-known neighbours, the chances of having, a bit more of the beach to yourself, that's an increased percentage, and that is very likely in Fort Myers as well. So I will get on a bit more to talk about some wildlife, but you'll see we have the pink spoonbill there, a nice little image, not to be confused with flamingos, but they do look somewhat similar. But incredible wildlife and birding as well. So for all those wildlife enthusiasts, Fort Myers is definitely a fantastic option. And then we've got the neighbourhoods. So I said I'd come on and talk a bit about, downtown Fort Myers, what's going on there, and then also up to sort of the Cape Coral side of things as well. Downtown Fort Myers, very lively. You don't really need a car to get around. You can walk. You'll see there the second image in. It's, amazing kind of quirky little boulevards. You've got wonderful dining options, bars that stay open late. Just a really vibrant, fun city. So we definitely recommend incorporating that into an itinerary. What else is there to do there? So the restaurant-wise, I did a Q&A session yesterday, or no, it was the day before now. It was on Tuesday, losing track of the days. But that was one thing that came up was, did I have any restaurant recommendations? And I absolutely do. So as you'll probably imagine, seafood is incredible in Fort Myers. You can go into restaurants and you'll have shrimp prepared a number of ways. You're definitely not going to go hungry in Fort Myers. You've also got kind of the craft brewery scene as well, which is definitely emerging. So that's also a nice option as well. One of my favorite restaurants, which I definitely want to shout out today, is a restaurant called Doc Ford's. So that is actually located out on Sanibel Island, one on Sanibel Island, and then there's also one in the downtown kind of Fort Myers Beach area. That's an incredible sort of waterfront dining option with very laid-back Florida vibe. It's very well known for its seafood and its rum. But I think there's a fun little story that I just wanted to say about the restaurant. So the restaurant is actually inspired by a series of books, which is called the Doc Ford novels. And then the author who wrote the books, obviously, he's one of the co-founders of the restaurant. So the restaurant is named after this series of books. So it's all kind of got a tie-in. And then the books are also primarily set on Sanibel and also Captiva Islands. So a nice, just little quirky tie there. But Doc Ford's restaurant, definitely put that on an itinerary. And then just to lead on really from the kind of quirky attractions, so I've talked about that link there with the novels. We've got a shell museum, which is really fantastic. As I said, seashell capital of the world, over 400 species of shells in the destination. Yeah, definitely would say to add that to a fun itinerary as well for kind of families, but also adults as well. It's a very enjoyable experience. The outdoors. So yeah, definitely want to talk about the outdoors. We've got over 190 kayaking trails. So as I've said, one of the best options, get out there, rent a kayak, go out on the water. You can be kayaking through the mangroves. You'll see all sorts of wildlife out there, but you'll also have some really memorable sunsets as well. So yeah, definitely a good option. So you'll see there some dolphins. We've got huge populations of dolphins and manatees. So yeah, you can do sort of sunset cruises. You can do cruises with drinks. You can do early morning cruises. You name it. There are so many ways to sort of get out on the water. And obviously, renting your own boat is also an option as well. So a lot of people like to take that approach when they visit our destination. Sports for everyone. We're kind of an emerging sporting destination. That being kind of, we've had a lot more regeneration in the golf courses being built in the area, which is great to see. A lot of the hotels are now including that. Pickleball, which is the US version of paddleball, is absolutely huge in Fort Myers. I will come on and show you some properties at the end of this presentation. And one of them's got about 16 pickleball courts in one of the properties out on Sanibel Island. So yeah, amazing family activity. You'll see there a baseball field as well. So we do have our own baseball team. They're called the Mighty Muscles. However, there are two Major League Baseball teams that come and actually train during the spring training season down in Fort Myers. You may have heard of them. They're a bit more famous probably than the Mighty Muscles. And that is the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. So yeah, definitely a fun itinerary addition if you're down there during the spring training, because yeah, you can get tickets to watch their training games. And yeah, that's going to be a lot more cost efficient than if you're getting to see them up in their home cities. So I am going to run you through some kind of accommodation options. When I did my Q&A on Tuesday, somebody did ask me about kind of family-friendly options, as well as some kind of more sustainably led hotels. So I'm just going to start this by saying that, Fort Myers turtle conservation is a kind of an initiative that runs through a lot of the hotels. So as we're kind of the coastal destination, and a lot of our hotels also obviously are based on the coast, turtle conservation is an initiative for pretty much every hotel in Fort Myers. They are very committed to the regeneration and the preservation of the turtles and the wildlife in the area. There's also been, by some of the hotels, initiatives to restart kind of planting the mangroves as well, particularly some of these out in kind of Sanibel and also Captiva. So some of them which, the properties are right kind of next to the mangroves. So that is also an initiative. And plenty of them incorporate these into their kids' clubs as well, which is really nice to see. So, the whole family can get involved in that. So I will just quickly talk about the West Inn. So that is a beautiful property up in Cape Coral. You will see on the left-hand side there a picture of the exterior of the property. So a great thing about this property is that all of the rooms face outwards. So you'll get a sea view or a water view from any of the rooms, which is quite unique. And then I will go on to Diamond Head Beach. So I just want to show you something a bit different now. This is in the Fort Myers beach area. So, right coastal location, beach location. You've got, the beach right in front of you. And you've also got like the outdoor swimming pool that's sort of on the beach as well. So, you really can't ask for like a more beautiful setting. And some of the sunset, most of the sunsets are just, they are literally just amazing from Fort Myers Beach. I I stayed on Fort Myers Beach last time I was there, and just every night did not disappoint. So yeah, you're definitely going to be promised some amazing sunsets. The Pink Shell. So I love this hotel. It's just down the road from the Diamond Head. So on Fort Myers Beach, it's very quirky. It's a bright pink hotel. But yeah, they have amazing kids club facilities, which are include kind of taking the kids out onto the beach, teaching them about the shells. They can take them back. There's a little shell washing station, which is really sweet. And yeah, part of the kind of club is teaching them all about, the importance of preserving the environment around you. So yeah, that's definitely an amazing family friendly option, because I know that somebody asked me that as well on Tuesday. Again, an incredible family friendly option, Margaritaville, also in Fort Myers Beach. This is probably the newest one down there. So yeah, very pristine, very new. And yeah, for those of you who know the Margaritaville brand, it's just, yeah, it ticks all the boxes that you would expect. Sundial. So this is again, I would say a very good option for families, slightly different. So this is the property that I was talking about that has the 16 pickleball courts. So yeah, definitely anyone that wants to give that a go, then I would say Sanibel Island. Staying out on Sanibel Island at the Sundial Resort is a great option. You'll also see there that this is more of a property with units. So you've got the kind of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. So again, fantastic for families sort of all sizes. The Hyatt Regency, I've left this one in here. So this is up in down in Bonita Springs. I've left this one in here because, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of new golf courses. So this is a golf course that opened here in 2023. So yeah, if you're staying there, you can have access to it, but you can also get the day passes as well. So yeah, just wanted to showcase that we definitely are building more sporting facilities in the destination. And then we have the Marriott, a firm favourite, of course, down at Sanibel Harbour. Yeah, this is a really lovely property as well. It's probably one of the slightly older ones, but yeah, it overlooks Sanibel and Captiva. So yeah, you're just guaranteed amazing, dolphins, manatees, you name it. Whilst you're having your breakfast, you can try and catch a peep of some of the incredible wildlife. For those who want to stay a bit more downtown in that vibrant sort of area that I mentioned, you've got a Luminary, which is part of the Autograph collection of Marriott, of course. Yeah, very stylish, very cool hotel. It's got an amazing rooftop bar as well, which not enough people know about. So I would definitely say go upstairs and grab a cocktail in their rooftop bar. And then I just wanted to include this one just to give you a completely different side of the spectrum. As you'll see, you've got a historic kind of hotel. It's more of a national kind of landmark, and you can see that really grand, rich architecture and a bit more kind of traditional as well that we've got out on Boca Grande as well. Okay, well, I am going to wrap up because I was told I had 20 minutes, although I'm sure you can tell I would love to talk about Fort Myers for hours. But yeah, so I do invite you all to have a look at our Travel Agent Academy for any kind of additional info that I might have missed. There's a QR code on screen and that will pop up. Hopefully that will work for you, but if not, everything will be on our kind of Travel Agent Academy as well. So yeah. And then I will leave you with our contact details.